Just a second. We will begin here in just a second. I just want to do a quick episode here. I'm going to go to YouTube really quick. Go turn off the chat again. All right. I'm going to go to YouTube really quick. Going to turn off this. All right. That is done. We're going to begin here in just a second, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to begin here in just a second. I'm going to make sure we sound okay here. I'm going to go to YouTube really quick. Okay, got that. That's good. All right, we're doing another broadcast back to back for a couple of reasons. If you noticed in the last live broadcast, we got disconnected again. Okay, I do not understand. Oh man, I am hoping the internet problems are not back. So I'm going to give this a couple of minutes. I'm going to check a couple of things here, and then we will get started here. We will get started here in just a minute. I'm going to go to the App Store here. I'm going to keep this plugged in. All right. So we'll get started here in just a minute. I think I've got everything ready to go. I think everything I need. We had a good crowd. We had a good crowd tune in for the last broadcast. I guess I drove everyone away from the last live broadcast. That's okay. That's okay. But yes, if you were listening to the last live broadcast, you noticed we got disconnected. And I told you, so September the 3rd to the 6th, we had major internet problems. Major. I couldn't even open up certain streaming services. A lot of things I could not do during that period of time. And then remember all the frustration, finally got someone out, finally got a new modem router. Then, of course, on the 11th, then I leave, I'm gone. And so when I get back, I have all of these messages from our internet provider basically saying, is your internet working? Is your internet working? Is your internet working? I'm like, I haven't been here. I mean, finally I talked to them this morning and they still think that there could be a problem. And I'm like, well, what's the problem? So I haven't noticed too much, but that disconnect makes me very, 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 very nervous. So I thought I would turn on the microphone again here and just see if we're going to get any other disconnects. So I don't think we're going to. Yeah, wow. I ran off everybody in that last live broadcast. I ran off everybody. Nobody is tuning in right now. The map is completely empty. So that's a little frustrating. All right, so let's do this. We will go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Looking at our world from a theological perspective, this is the Theology Central Podcast, making theology central.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is Wednesday, September the 17th, 2025. It is currently 2:43 p.m. Central Time, and I'm coming to you live from the Theology Central studio located right here in Abilene, Texas. Now, before we get to what we need to talk about, which is basically some updates to 2 different apps, and I hope you have both apps downloaded. If you don't, I'll tell you about the updates, tell you why you should have both of them. But before we do that, one of the reasons I wanted to do a broadcast really quick is we just did a live broadcast just a few minutes ago, and there was a disconnect. We got disconnected. And that makes me a little nervous, okay? So if you've been keeping up with the podcast, you may know this. Between September the 3rd and September the 6th, there was major internet issue here. Major, right? I couldn't even open up some streaming services. I couldn't get them to work. I was having all kinds of problems. And even if I got it to work, you know, like it could be, say, Sirius XM. It would go from one song and then the next song it would stop. And if other streaming services, it would just, television just completely stopped working. So from September the 3rd to the 6th, it was a mess. They came out finally. There was all the back and forth. They replaced the modem/router. Everything was working great. And then I left for Salem on September the 11th, and I was gone from September the 11th through the 14th. When I got back, I noticed there was all kinds of messages from my internet provider, like, hey, you know, we need to come out and change your router. Hey, we need to come out and change your router. I'm like, what do you mean you need to come out and change my router? You just changed it. What is going on? So finally, I spoke to them this morning. They still wanted to come out and change the router. I'm like, well, I think everything is okay. They still think there's a problem, but everything has been working pretty good until I go live. And then what happens? We get temporarily disconnected. So I thought I would do another broadcast just to see if we get another disconnect. I'm hoping we don't have any more problems, because I would hate to go 3, 4, 5 days with internet problems, because it just makes using it. It just makes it like, because it was so weird. It was working, but it wasn't working. So it's like you could get things to work, but did you really want to work? Yeah, it was a mess. So I'm hoping to avoid that problem. So this would be a good opportunity to go live and just see. So now let's get to the matter at hand. All right. There are 2 apps. The first one is the Sermon Audio app, and the second one is the Church One app, which is made by Sermon Audio. Now, if you're not familiar with Sermon Audio is the largest collection of, I guess we'll call this from a theological perspective, from a conservative theological perspective. I'm not using conservative in a political term. I'm using it in a theological way. From a conservative theological perspective, Sermon Audio is by hands down the largest collection of sermons available to you. And they add 5, 6, 7,000 sermons per week. And there's so many sermons being added continually every single day. And you can download the Sermon Audio app and you have access to all of those sermons 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? They've got great search features to help you search by biblical passage or topic and themes. And not only that, there's basically almost around the clock live broadcast occurring, either live church services or a live broadcast like this one right now. This one right now is being broadcasted live on the Sermon Audio app. So it's an amazing, whether you agree or whether you disagree with the sermons, there's just this millions of sermons just sitting there. I mean, you could not listen to all of them. And in a lifetime listening 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you would never get through all of them, because 5, 6, 7,000 are being added every single week. So Sermon Audio, again, whether you agree or disagree, it's this invaluable resource. It's this library just waiting for you to utilize. So I tell everyone to download it. Well, the Sermon Audio app has gone through a lot of changes, and they just did another update. In fact, let me pull up the information. Sermon Audio, it's version 3.134. 3.134. The sermon, it's called Sermons by Sermon Audio, if you want to look it up. Sermons by Sermon Audio. And here's what's new. They did a player overhaul for better stability and user experience. So if you're having any problems using the app and when you hit play on something, better stability and user experience. New super filters for Sermon List and Discover Search. So they got some new filters to help you filter down what you're looking for. Trying to find a sermon on a particular topic, a particular passage of scripture, new filters, certain kinds of churches, whatever, and to help you discover. So if you haven't downloaded the Sermon Audio app, download it. If you have the Sermon Audio app downloaded, please do the update. They also now have auto-generated transcripts available for download. You can now download the transcripts, all right? And I use that all the time. I go to Sermon Audio, to the website all the time, not to the app, but I go to the website, look up a sermon, download the transcript, and I use that a lot of times for analysis and critique, especially for my sermon reviews, because in many cases I will upload it to AI and then work with AI to go back and forth in critiquing the message or checking something. They also did some various bug fixes. So there's an update to the Sermon Audio app. Please, if you have the Sermon Audio app, upload it. If you haven't downloaded it, please consider downloading it. Tell other Christians you know, download this app. You're not saying I agree with everything on it, but you're literally handing them a resource of millions of sermons, 5, 6, 7,000 added every single week. That should give them plenty to listen to discuss, and to think about, and debate, and struggle with, all right? And it's that struggle that's worth it. And consider giving them a 5-star review. They're currently at 4.1 with only 97 ratings, at least on the Apple device. Haven't looked at the Google Play Store, and I don't know if an update is available in the Google Play Store, but please consider giving them 5 stars, writing a positive review, right? And if you have some issue with the app, email Sermon Audio and tell them, you know what I want for the Sermon Audio app? You know what I want? I want them to allow for notifications for all live webcasts, for the webcasts you follow, for all new sermons uploaded, to sermons to broadcasters you follow. I want the notifications, and I want that as as a user of the app, because there's lots of people I follow. I never know when they're going live. I never have a clue, right? Well, I would like to get a notification so I could at least decide if I'm going to listen or not, right? So, and I want to know when they upload a new sermon. It will be in my feed, but a notification can get your attention when other things can't. So Sermon Audio, please bring a notification system to the Sermon Audio app, but email them and let them know, all right? So there's the Sermon Audio app, all right? Download the Sermon Audio app. If you haven't downloaded, update it, please, okay? And try out the new super filters and look and see what you like about them. If you say, a lot of times people, when I do one of these messages, they will email me and say, well, I don't like this, or I don't like this. Email Sermon Audio. Don't email me. I don't work for them, okay? If they want to hire me, great. Okay, but all right. So that's the first one. The second one is the Church One app. Now, the Church One app is built by Sermon Audio. That's Church O-N-E. I know what you're asking. Well, if I have the Sermon Audio app, why do I want the Church One app? Here's the reason. If there is a broadcaster on Sermon Audio that you just really, really like, they're your go-to, you're going to listen to everything they do, then download the Church One app and look them up, because it will turn the Church One app into that broadcaster's own personal app. For example, this podcast, Theology Central. If you'll go to your app store of choice, download Church, O-N-E, Church One, type in Theology Central, it will become the Theology Central app. You say, well, why do I need that? One, you'll get a notification every time when I go live. You'll get a notification every single time I upload something. You'll get a notification if I want to send out a push notification about a notice, or just offer a quote or anything else. You'll get the notifications. So not only that, all of my content is broken down by series, and it's much easier. Sometimes people say, well, have you ever spoken on this, or have you ever spoken on that? Go to the Church One app, use the search function, and look for the series. You can probably find whatever you're looking for without even having to ask me, and it will be instantaneous. But they've done a new update. So now the Church One app, it's version 4.1.14. They did a player overhaul for better stability and user experience. And guess what they've done? They added the new super filters for Sermon List and Discover Search, and they've done various bug fixes. So the super filters that are for the Sermon Audio app is now for the Church One app. So meaning finding my content may even be easier, or anybody else's. So you want the Sermon Audio app because you get everything. But if there's a specific broadcaster, you just like, that's my go-to one, that's the one I want to hear all the time, then go to the Church One app and then make them your selected broadcaster. And then this Church One app will become their app. Or if you listen to me, download Church One, type in Theology Central, and it'll become the Theology Central app. The whole app will just be my content. And it'll be like the Theology Central app. And they just updated it. So update the Sermon Audio app, update the Church One app, or download the Sermon Audio app, download the Church One app, and make good use of both. Now, Sometimes the Sermon Audio app drives me to the point of drinking because sometimes, well, my sermon reviews, they typically are influenced by what I'm seeing there. But it's still a great resource. And the Church One app may drive you to drinking because it could be my content if you want my content. But there you have it. Now, I'm going to look really quick. Oh, we're getting some wild internet fluctuations. Yeah, I think our internet problems may be back, which is very, very, very disheartening. So I'm going to go do some reset and restart, and hopefully our problems aren't there. I'm going to be using my iPad for a while and see how things are working. I may try some music streaming services, see how they're working. September the 3rd through the 6th, everything was dead, so I'm hoping I don't go through that again. So if for some reason there's no broadcast, maybe I'll do another one this evening. Hopefully I can get to one this evening. If for some reason there's no broadcast, well, it could be internet problems. So I'm hoping that's not the case. All right. Download the Sermon Audio app. Download the Church One app. Do so right now. And if you've already got them downloaded, update both. A lot of times people say, well, it crashed, or it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that. Continue to email Sermon Audio and tell them what it's not doing, but do the updates because maybe some of the problems have been fixed. All right, there we go. Thank you for listening. Yeah, wild fluctuations for the streaming connection, which is a bad sign. So, all right. Hopefully we accomplished a couple of things. Thanks for listening. Everyone have a great day. Go download the apps. Go. Download the apps. All right, God bless.